Okay guys, we're going to show you how to install a head unit in the Toyota 86. We're going to use the Kenwood DDX916 widescreen suited to the Toyota. So for all you guys with Toyota 86, Subaru BRZ, Scion FRS, we're going to show you how to install that and give you a layout of the parts included. This is honestly one of the best decks I've used, and I'm putting this in my car, so I thought I'd show you guys how to do it so you can install it yourself. Kind of fun thing to do. So we'll quickly run through what you've got in the box, what you're going to need, and then we'll show you how to install it in the actual car. So first up, widescreen unit, 200mm wide, suited for the Toyota. It is the right shape to suit your car. Very nice, it makes it nice and clean. In the box you have the loom, the wiring loom. This is the power and the speakers, okay? So there's a power and front speakers, there's rear speakers, designed to plug and play, so very simple, straight plugs into the back of the unit. You have to wire two of these wires. One is the handbrake wire. That one, what you can do, you can run it to the handbrake, but then you cannot run DVD while driving, okay? But your passengers may want to watch that. So what you can do is you can earth that out. You want to tap it into the black wire here. So you want to tap it in. We'll show you that when we're doing the install. I would suggest soldering it, but you can use wire taps. I strongly suggest soldering if you can. Reverse wire, so this is the reverse trigger input. So if you have a reverse camera, you can hook it to this, so that will tell the screen to flip over. So to the reverse picture when you do the reverse camera. So you can retain any reverse cameras you have. So that's those, and we'll show you in the car. This here is an adapter to retain steering wheel controls, not used on the Toyota 86, Subaru BRZ or Scion. It does not have it. External microphone, so you mount this up on the A-pillar, or we mount it up the top behind the reverse mirror to give you nice clear talking. So we'll show you how to run that. Just runs and plugs into the back. What you get is two USBs, so you can run both Android Auto and you can run Apple CarPlay. So you can run these two. So you can run one, say, in the glove box. If you have a GTS or a BRZ, you have the USB down the bottom. You can run it down there and adapt the factory one, and you can run two for the two different phones. Because one will do Apple CarPlay, one will do Android Auto. So you have two. Very cool. Remote control, self-explanatory, you can use that. And GPS antenna. And also a magnetic mat, metal mat, so this mounts onto here, okay? And you can stick that somewhere high up under the dash. It doesn't have to be clear line of sight with the sky, it can be under the dash, but no metal above it. So if you're gonna put it under the dash where you can't see it, do not place it underneath metal, okay? Some people place it on top of the stereo itself, okay, when they put it in. So you can do that, it'll still work. Obviously the clearer, the better reception. Now, what you're gonna need to do the install. You're only gonna need really three tools. You're gonna need a pry bar. We'll use a plastic one, so it's not to scratch things. A 10mm socket, so you can undo the bolts to get the unit out. A screwdriver to screw the brackets onto the side. And that's really all you're gonna need for the installation. Two extra parts you may or may not need. Firstly, antenna adapter. So this is going into the aftermarket stereo, the new Kenwood or any aftermarket stereo. And this is going to the factory Toyota one. Subaru is a little bit different, so specify the car. They're about $10, $15. It will adapt the antenna from your factory stereo to the aftermarket. So $10, $15. You will need that, so make sure you get that. An option, if you have a factory factory USB down the bottom, and you want to retain that to keep that clean look rather than in your glove box, you can get a USB retention cable. These are about $49 retail. Well worth it. Plugs into the factory USB style and comes out, so you can go into the aftermarket unit. Simply, we're going to use this on my car because I'll show you where that goes. And you can use stuff like these quick crimps if you don't have a soldering iron. Do not recommend them. It is not professional installation, but if you do not have a soldering iron, this may be your only option, and choice is yours, but suggest soldering. Now, let's go show you in the car. We'll show you how to install it and give you a few tips and tricks, and then you guys can do it yourself. Alright guys, down in the car, we're going to show you how to remove the stereo, how to install it. We're going to run you through all the plugs in the car so you know what you're doing, and how to run all the cables. So let's go to it. This car, we have removed the stereo already just to make it easier to see. But first up, non-miring pry bar, use a spatula, something plastic, do not scratch your car. You can lever from just under here on both sides. So you can just pop that forward a little bit. And remember, you can't leave it pull from in here because the stereo will be here, but you can sort of pull that forward and it just clips off, okay? So you can get your fingers around it, pull it off. To give you a look at how it's located, 4 locator tabs. That's it, simply clips off. Keep it out of the way, place carefully, don't scratch your dash. Next step, you will have 4 10mm bolts on either side of the unit. So you'll take your 10mm, you'll undo them quickly, and you can pull the whole stereo out. So be careful not to drop the bolts. Okay, so when you're pulling them out, just be careful. The ones in here are hard to get. You just be careful pulling them out, all right? The stereo will normally be there, so it will hold these brackets in place. But you will undo that. And the way I like to do it is when I'm pulling the unit out, I put my finger on the bolt and I pull the unit out with it. And you can do that holding both sides. That way you don't drop the screw into the bottom. Okay, so that's one side. You really would get all that out at one go if the stereo was in there, but we're just doing this so you can see that really easily. So excuse my hands in front of the camera, but it's just quicker. Nothing fancy, 10mm ratchet. All right, and that's your brackets, okay? So they're off. Easy to remember, they actually say left-hand side, right-hand side on them. So LH for left-hand side. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but trust me, it does say it if you want to have a look at it. Now, when you pull the unit out, you'll pull it out forward and there'll be all the plugs in the back. So these are all the plugs that are located in the back of the unit. And we'll explain what they are and how to loosen them off. But I'll hold up a light for you guys. So hopefully, is that a bit better? Yeah. Okay, so with these plugs, you have a locator tab on the top of every single one, okay? That is for quick releasing. So you'll push that in. So, sorry, it's a bit hard to see with the light there, isn't it? Let's try this. Ooh, a bit hard to see. Okay, hopefully you can see that. It's a little bit, you can try and zoom in on that. There you go. You can see on the top of them, locator tab on every single one, all right? And you would push that in and then pull them out of the back of the stereo. And that will release every single one. Now, the ones that you are going to use and aren't going to use, this one here, so this style here, is your antenna adapter, okay? That's your factory antenna. So you would take the antenna adapter that we talked about earlier. Sorry, you'll take the antenna adapter that you talked about earlier, and that will simply plug in, okay? That is done. This wire, this blue wire, is to power the antenna. It's a power antenna, so you will need to install that. We'll show you where it goes, but that will go straight into the back of the unit. Now, next step, you will take your main power harness. So that's these two plugs here, okay? Main power harness, you have 2 of them. It will plug into these units. It is a very easy, straightforward plug and play, and that's mainly all your wiring done. Next step, this parking light switch. So if you want to earth this out, that will allow you to actually watch DVDs while in motion. I guess you probably shouldn't recommend that, but hey, your passengers might want to do that. You would take that and solder it onto this black wire. That's the earth cable in the unit. So you just cut that, solder it onto there. Very simple and easy to do. I'm not going to do it now just for the sake of the video, but that would allow you to watch DVDs while driving. Next one, reverse trigger in. So this is what tells your car or your stereo to switch into the reverse camera mode. All right, so this reverse trigger will actually go to this small plug at the back here. There's a small 4-pin plug, right? Or 5-pin, 6-pin. How many pins is that? 5 pins, there you go, nice and clear. Now, you will do that to the orange one. It is pin number 6, and you will attach that to that. This is the reverse signal that when you put it in reverse, that will get a 12-volt feed telling the screen to flick over. You'll just wire that onto there, solder or quick crimp it if you would like. Next one. So all these extra harness, this extra loom here is actually not used on the Toyota 86 and BRZ when you do the install. It's traditionally built for other cars, but they put it in there because it's the same loom they share. This one here, this little gray plug at the back, okay, this is your USB adapter. So this is, if you want to retain the factory USB down the bottom here, you'll see it down here, out of the way there, this factory USB. If you want to retain that and use that with the aftermarket deck, you will use that grey port. We are going to actually use that. So here we go. It will just plug in. So there's a factory USB one. You'll see it adapt, and that will plug into the back of the stereo, allowing you to keep that. So very easy to do as well. Now we have run a reverse camera. So So this is our reverse camera from our GT86 kit or BRZ kit. We have an OEM do-it-yourself reverse camera. So this will run all the way to the front. That will plug directly into the reverse camera video feed at the back. And then this one here, this red wire, on our camera kit, on this car, it will go to the same orange wire. So that one with the purple wire, they will go there together. So that will turn the camera on and tell the screen to change over. So that is very easy to fit as well. Now, what else you will have to do is you have the GPS antenna. You can actually mount this up the back. There's a metal bracket. You can stick it on there if it's magnetic, or this has got double-sided tape. So you can double-sided tape this onto the top of the unit. We will quickly show you that, and that will give you the GPS into the back of the stereo. So all these plugs are going to the back of the stereo. I don't think we really need to show you too much. They all only go in one position, one place, so you can't really get those wrong. We're just going to show you the install side here. Next step, we're going to actually show you, this is the microphone. We'll show you quickly how you would run that and install that in your car, because this is virtually the only thing you will need to know about doing the installation. So the way we do these, if you flex this up here, the roof carpet a little bit, be careful not to crease it. You can loop this into the back there, and you can slide that. We mount it up here in the middle, and we use some padding to give that a bit of a firm grip as it mounts there. That will mount there so that it's away from the wind, and we would run that along inside. So you can actually just flex that down a little bit, and as you can see, very quick and easy to do. Run it there, and you'll run right along. And what you can do is you can actually pull this panel forward, and there is a rubber pinch weld here that you can actually pull off. So you can actually put your hands behind it a little bit, and that will pull off. And then you can clip forward the A-pillar. It won't come all the way off because it has a tab that holds it there. But then you can run the microphone round the side there and up and in. And you just fix it up so it's nice and neat, not hanging. We actually put some double-sided tape to keep it up inside there where you don't see it. And you would run that down, and you can clip that back on. Sits nice and perfect, just make sure it seats. And you can run it down the actual channel that is there. So there you go, that would run down into your kick panel. Just pull the rubber off, go all the way down. You can go under your carpet, or you can tie it up nice and neat and come up behind your stereo, and that will plug in. Next step, we would take the unit and we would mount the brackets on the side of the unit. Okay, so we're going to show you this quickly. It will only go into one position where the screws will line up. You'll actually feel it seat and locate, and you'll see that you'll get the top couple of screws. So you'll get the two at the front and the third one up the top. So 1, 2, and 3, and you'll screw all those in. We're not going to show you exactly how to do that because I mean, if you can't do a screw in, you probably shouldn't be doing this as far as you go, but that will go in there nice and neat. So I'll quickly show you. Unscrew, make sure you do them up tight. Obviously, this is your little screwdriver section, and then that will mount back in correctly. Plug all your plugs in, push it in, and she's running. So we're going to quickly do this, and then we're going to show you the operation of the unit and some of the features of it, and you can watch that in another video as well. But this is the Kenwood DDX916WS, but the installation virtually the same for every other stereo out there. Differences would be you would use a different loom. We sell plug and play looms for other aftermarket stereos. This one actually comes with it because it's designed for Toyotas and Subarus, but pretty simple install. Okay guys, made a quick mistake in that, so we're going to add this amendment in for you. I said it'll only locate it in one spot, but it won't. I showed you there in that first part of the video. It has to go all the way on this particular unit to the very front, okay? And you'll end up getting all four lining up, okay? So it has to go further forward. So be careful on that. We actually went to fit it up and it was sitting out a little bit. So just to make it perfect, we thought we'd go and show you that we do test things and make them right. So. Okay guys, we're quickly going to show you the wiring, the soldering and connecting. We just thought it would make it really easy for you guys. So this is the blue antenna one coming out of the car that we showed you earlier. This goes to the power continued from the new stereo loom. So what you would do is connect them. So we're going to cut it here quickly. We're going to show you all these, and we're going to show you the camera connection for the reverse camera. So this one is the antenna. Okay, so we would join them up. So we just splice them and make them nice and neat, and we would solder them if you guys, so just do a nice quick cover there. We're just going to show you soldering one. I'm not going to solder them all, show you all the connections, but we'll just quickly show you how we do it. So we have a battery powered soldering iron. We put the iron behind the wire and actually solder into it, so it heats through the wire. Nice neat connection. And then we use what's called tester tape, which is a factory cloth tape, and you can cover that nice and neat. So that is our connections, and that's how we do it. You can use a wire tap, not suggested for some of you don't have a soldering iron, but if so, find a friend that has one. Better to do it. Okay, the green wire, this is the handbrake wire we talked about earlier. The green wire on this stereo. Different vehicles will have, or different aftermarket stereos will have a different color for their handbrake wire, so check the install diagram. But on this Kenwood, the DDX916WS, which we're putting in, this one is handbrake, and we connect it to the black, the earth one. So we just cut that off. These are wire strippers, make life a little bit easier. We line that up nice and neat. Okay, and then we would connect that on there nice and neat as well. So that will be soldered and taped. So that is the handbrake wire done. Now, the reverse wire, so that one we need a bit more length, so we'll pull it out because it's got to go up to the orange and white wire. So it's an orange and white wire in the 4-pin plug. That 4-pin plug will not plug back into anything in the aftermarket stereo. Okay, it is only for the factory stereo, but we're going to take the reverse trigger feed. So you will take the purple and white wire from the aftermarket stereo and connect it to the orange and white wire on the 5-pin plug in the car. So you can see me stripping that back. I'll bring it out here so you can see it, and you will connect that on there. When you do that connection, you will take the power from your reverse camera, whatever you have at the rear. If you have a factory reverse camera, not one of our aftermarket ones, it is a 6-volt camera. Be careful, it is not a 12-volt camera. This is a 12-volt feed, okay? And that is how it is standard. So I suggest getting a 12-volt to 6-volt reducer if you're retaining a factory camera. If it is aftermarket fitted, not factory, like our kit, which is better quality, by the way, better picture quality, because it is 12-volt, and that's the main reason, because we're running 12-volt. It'll be much clearer, but 12-volt is okay. So you'll connect both of them together, just like that, and we'll solder that and tape it, and that's all the connections that you will need to make. All right, so power antenna, reverse for the camera and the unit, and then also the handbrake wire. And that's all the wiring, solder, and we're going to pack that up quickly and we'll show you the plugs in the back of the unit. Okay, just continuing on with the wiring of the head unit. We've done all the connections now. We've used tester tape, just made it really simple and clean. So we have our USB connection, antenna, plug in the back of the stereo. We have our GPS connector, we have our reverse camera, and we have our microphone, which we will bundle up and make nice and small when we connect that. But what I wanted to show you quickly is we've got the USB connection here as well. So this will go in the back of the stereo. And we mentioned on the bench you have 2 of these. Now, something to point out that makes your life easier. One will say iPod, iPhone. So obviously that's for your Apple CarPlay, and one is Android. So be aware of that. There is a difference depending where you want it in the car. So whatever your primary phone is, you'll obviously want that to be the most accessible position. So you want if you're an Apple user, you want that. So I'm going to use it. I'm an Apple user, so I'll make that iPod one work for the factory position, but that's something to be aware of. So we're going to put all this in now and quickly show you as we slide it in. Okay, final stages, just showing you doing the connection. So these are the USBs, we've run them straight into the back in the white unit, tab up the top. It'll only go in one way, don't force it, it should go in really easily like a glove. Never force anything in if it doesn't fit. This is the main power one, and that will go in the correct way around. Like I said, don't force anything if it doesn't fit. Antenna, so this is the antenna here. So we're just holding the deck. Be careful when you're holding the deck, don't scratch anything on your dash. Typically put something around here, maybe something soft so it doesn't scratch. Small little one is your microphone. It will go here, it says mic. They're all labeled. That will plug in. Remote out if you're running a steering wheel control of some sort. That's what remote out is. Also, okay, we have the reverse camera input, so we will get the one that says rear camera, there we go, and that will plug into there. So Sorry, a little bit hard to do with one hand. There you go, one-handed. That's all done, and this is our factory GPS. Okay, and that is plugged in. So that's all the looms that we're going to need to do. We've wired all that up, and you'll just tuck that in nice and neat. So make sure you don't jam any wires on the way in. Nice and neat on either side. And we'll quickly bolt that up, and we'll be able to show you clipped on how it goes. So these as well, don't thread these, so these should go in smoothly. So if it's not going in smoothly, try a different hole, because sometimes they're being threaded by other people or the guys that fit the stereos from factory. So just make sure they go in nice and gently, don't force it, just sit it in there nicely, and you'll be right. Okay, there's that one. All right, we're all in. Oh, just tighten that one a little bit loose. Get the cover back, put that on. Damn, looks good. We can power it up if we have our key in the car, which we do, and that should light up. There you go. This is a beautiful looking deck, you know, nice capacitive touch screen, you know, beautifully illuminated. You can choose anything. And we've got another review on the actual operation of this unit separately, but this is how to install it on a Toyota 86, Subaru BRZ, and the Scion FRS if you're overseas. I don't know if the model number is different, but here in Australia, this is the DDX916WS, suited for the Toyota, but that's how to install it. Very easy, guys. So there you have it, guys. Really easy to do that installation. It will take you a little bit of time to do it yourself, but you can refer to this video and get out there with your friends and try it yourself, man. It's actually really fun. A little bit of experience, take your time, just cover panels so you don't get any damage. And hey, if you want, you can call us for help. We'll give a little bit of tech support if you need. We don't spend a lot of time on that because you know it's obviously unpaid sort of time, but we can help you out as much as possible in relation to the video. Our phone number is 0298313288, or check us out and hit us up in the email, which is team@carboncarsystems.com.au. And yeah, follow us on YouTube for some more videos and DIYs. But hope you enjoyed that episode.